Ye banks and braes, o bonny doon, how can ye bloom sae fresh and fair? How can ye chant, ye little birds, and I sae weary, full o care? Ye'll break my heart, ye warbling birds that wantons through the flowery thorn. Ye mind me, O departed joys, departed never to return.
My name's Chris. It turns out I've been working for 10 years on building massive murals, and I thought I was illustrating ideas that people would get, but they didn't know. It turns out I need to marry words with pictures. So here we go.
When chapman billies leave the street, and drouthy neighbours meet, as market days are wearing late, and folk begin to tack the gate, while we sit boozing at the nappy, and getting full and unco happy, we think no on the land Scott smiles, the mosses, waters, slats and stiles that lie between us and our hame, where sits our sulking sullen dame, gathering her brows like a gathering storm, and nursing her wrath to keep it warm.
This is Tam over here. Tam's a big drinker. Every market day he's down the pub getting full and unco happy with his mate Suitor Johnny. He's a rogue, he drinks everything. Wine, whiskey, beer, Sambuca, Amaretto, anything that's coming along, he's going to neck it. And, you know, why not? This is his wife up there. She's no happy with him. She's at home gathering her brow like gathering storm, nursing her wrath to keep it warm. That's my wife. To be honest, she was already peeved with me, so I kind of just, took her photo and it was fine. So Tam goes out into the stormy night and he comes across the devil having a ceilidh. And all the witches and warlocks are dancing away.
Warlocks and witches in a dance. Naked T-ombre new for France, but hornpipes, jigs, strathspeys and reels put life and metal in their heels.
Tam particularly likes this witch in a cutty sark, which is a short skirt in Scottish. So he yells out, "Well done, cutty sark!"
He screwed the pipes and garten the skill till roof and rafters added diddle. Coffins stood round like open presses that shawed the dead in their last dresses. And by some devilish cantrip slicht, each in its called hand held a licht, by which heroic Tam was able.
Nanny is right out in front and she's seriously dangerous. She's after him and she's going to claw and get him if he can. He's going to get over the Brigg Doon. The witches can't cross running water. So he does get away, but the witch rips off the horse's tail. The moral of the story is,
whene'er to drink you are inclined, or cutty sarks are in your mind, think, you may buy the joys o'er dear, remember Tam O'Shanter's mare.
So, don't chase witches in short skirts when you're pissed on whiskey because they might nip your horse's tail. So, this is Tam's story. He goes out into the stormy night and, he has a wild adventure. He gets chased by witches and warlocks and his horse gets its tail ripped off, and when he reaches his home, he's happy to get away. But it's another night on the pop. Wild things always happen to him, so he's not that stressed. But his wife, he comes home and she's like, do I believe this? I don't know. He seems to be, a little bit stressed, but his horse is absolutely terrified. It's missing a tail. It's all maybe true. But then, the next day, she's talking to the guys in the pub and she's like, did you see any witches and warlocks? And they're like, no, I didn't. We've been drinking. I was with them all night. Never saw a thing. No witches and warlocks around here. They don't think it's true. And what the painting meant to people is different as well. This guy here, this is Harry. So I went to Harry with a poster of the painting next door, but I only wanted to do Tam O'Shanter 3 metres square originally. It was literally going to be the size of the wall in my studio. And Harry is a Glasgow steelman. He is like literally your cartoon character for what you'd expect Glasgow shipbuilders would be, like a massive big bluffed man. And he just has elevated standards of scale, you know, because he builds ships and he holds buildings up. So he just said, can you make it 22 metres big? And I went, aye, I can, because why not, you know? And I was like, yes, let's do this thing. So the Cutty Sark, the boat the Cutty Sark was named after this witch, Nanny. So she is seriously dangerous. But like, so my mate's a teacher, and he went to visit the Cutty Sark, and I told him about this witch. So all the kids, he was telling them all the way through, building up to this moment, he's like, oh yes, I think you'll find when we get to the top here, the Cutty Sark, she's the figurehead of the boat. And when he arrived there she was, both boobs out. So he was a bit like, oh my God, moving on, because it was quite a religious school. But the interesting thing for me is this tale. The sailors on the Cutty Sark used to put a hank of rope in her hand, tease it out so it was like a tail, and she'd be ploughing across the Pacific between Australia and England with this tail in her hand, ploughing into green waves like, I've got my tail and I'm never letting it go. Oh, and I just think that's kind of beautiful. This is a painting about the Jacobites. This guy here is Bonnie Prince Charlie. So this isn't poetry, this is an event that actually happened. In 1745, he came to Scotland trying to be the king of Scotland. There's a lion and a unicorn. The lion is the symbol of England and the unicorn is the symbol of Scotland. So that's two different codes of belief. The lion stands for rule by domination, traditionally. They believed, I'm the king because I say I'm the king, you can suck it up. That's not the Scottish way. The Scottish way was rule by consensus. So he believed, Scots believed that you are the king of your own life. And actually, every single Scot is free and the kingdom of Scotland is in their heart. So they are the king of their own life. It's the texture of old porridge, but you know, how it was made, it defeated me. It was in the corner, I just couldn't do it. I kept painting it, and painting it and painting it, and I would go, well, the colours are right, the scene's right, but is this face any better? I don't know. It's just different, you know? I kept doing it and doing it and doing it, and it was just going round and round in circles. Eventually what I did was I changed the game. I laid it on the floor of a gallery, and I gave people plastic swords, gave them wigs, and I asked them to sit in front of me, and then I painted them in directly into the painting. So that change in how I do it just totally liberated how I work. But it had to be real people. You can't, I have to clothe a scene in the souls of real people. That's how it works. Okay, so this is a painting of the classic Edinburgh Hogmanay. To be honest, this is contemporary, but it doesn't exist anymore. You know, this was sold down to the New Town in about 1996. Edinburgh's Hogmanay is really famous, but this does not exist anymore. This used to happen on the Royal Mile, outside the Tron Kirk. And basically, I would strap a load of beers on my back, you know, in a backpack, and all my mates would do me a favour by pulling the beers out and, you know, lightening my load as I went. But we'd all get hugely drunk, and it was super, super cosy. This was my best chance of a snog in the new year. We basically get pissed and, you know, at New Year, Happy New Year, and we'd all be backing off. And it was, you know, it was great, it was super cosy. And it was just full of love. This is the story of Edinburgh all in. Edinburgh used to be the centre of thought for the world. You know, not long after Bonnie Prince Charlie left, we were coming up with some of the just miracles of ideas. Modern economics, you name it, medicine, etc., etc. But what used to have, the poor people at the top because they had to walk upstairs, the poor people on the bottom because Edinburgh literally smelled like a jobbing, and the rich people in the middle, that's the best place to be. But it meant that they were rubbing shoulders with each other. All those people spinning around, a load of meat all packed together, and thought just dripping off like grease off them into the gutters. And it was just amazing. But they sold it down to the New Town, and before you knew it, the rich and the poor are segregated, and the quality of thought was poorer for it, and we're poorer as a result, and just a bit more stupid.
When I first heard about it, I thought it was going to be a crazy feat to manage to finish that in the space of a month, but he's working solid 14 hours a day and he's trooping on.
Oh, I think it's amazing, because I just came yesterday and he said I'll try and have it before you go back to Ireland. I hope when I'm older I can come back and just see the painting wherever Chris is going to put it.
I had my grandson with me and I thought, I've got to get onto that. I really have. I just think he's a picture himself. I'd love to paint him.
What interests me also is how it changes when you put that person next to that person next to that person. There would be moments where it was like on the verges, but it changes according to the narrative. My daughter gets really frustrated when I try and help with her jigsaw. Kind of put a bit in and I just punch it in place. But that's basically how it works. You just make it up as you go along. But if you want to make a real crowd, you can only build the world and let other people's souls fill it. And some of it's happenstance. What I was doing is I wanted to illustrate to people what this meant, what it is to be Scottish. And it's not about borders, it's about the qualities, it's about Scottishness. I want to show what a unicorn was. I wanted to show single-mindedness, I wanted to show generosity. And I just do it in a good-natured way. And I wanted to do something that seemed impossible and just smashing it out effortlessly.
That was heavy.
I like to open my mouth and say I'm going to do something, but then I like to do it. I don't like to be a gobshite. I was going to launch into talking about the battle, wasn't I? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let me know. In 1314, the English came to Scotland and they had domination on their mind. Bruce's cousin had made a deal that if the English would leave the castle by a certain time, that the Scots would leave. And Bruce was furious. He's like, are you having a laugh? The English are the heavyweight champions of Europe. That's what they do. They love to pulverise people. That guy there on that horse, he's got a 2.5-ton horse. It's a cross between a Clydesdale and a Rottweiler. Nasty, bitey, kicky. Just all he wants to do is smash Scots, and that's why he loves it. But, he's been sleeping in his armour since he was 12 years old. So he's built like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He needs to be able to move like it's not there. Scots have got to do something about it. The English come up and they camp in a crook of the Bannockburn. The next day the Scots come out of the woods. They've got their spears. Some of them have got umbrellas. It had always been thought of as a defensive formation, but some bright spark and 2 a.m, drunk on whiskey's gone, I've got a great idea. You know what we should do? And you know what? Because the Scots are the Scots, they didn't shut them up. They actually went, you know what, that's a brilliant idea. What they've done is they started to move it. So they move and they sit, and they sit, and they're moving, and they're just crushing down the hill. That changed the game completely. Because they came out of that river, out of those forests, and they start jabbing the English down the hill. jab, jab. Suddenly the English are falling back. Their horses, so heavy in the mud, can't get any ahead of steamer, so they're falling back. So, all distorted. There were so many dead Englishmen in the river that day that you could walk across without getting your feet wet. And you know what? It couldn't happen to a nicer bunch. But here we come to the point of the show. This is a guy who is a lion but leads unicorns on a path of destruction and he gets them all killed. That doesn't seem to me like a very good idea. You really cannot be domination and consensus at the same time. It doesn't work, but they're exact opposites. You just end up with grey. Here is democracy. This is a party in democracy. And this is a party in a Scottish monarchy. Which is the more focused? So democracy, each of these people sees themselves as an army of one. Maybe their family, but largely they think freedom means standing on their own and not helping each other. The time that they can spend together is limited by what money dictates it is worth. This is a Scottish monarchy. It's completely different. He is the king, but every single one of them is free. Their freedom relies on that man not dying, so he will do everything he can to make that man's dreams come true. Every single spear there is a hope and aspiration of those people. And every single one of them is motivated to help each other because the more favours and love they cast out, the more they will receive back. It just makes sense. If Scotland is in your heart, you are the King of Scotland. So I'm the King of Scotland, and all of these people are the King of Scotland because Scotland is in their heart. 50% of this crowd are dominating the other 50%. That's not freedom. It's not a grown-up conversation. None of these guys would do a plan unless they all agreed on it. And, you know, I mean, to be honest, the best people we know are like that, the Beatles and Monty Python. They just wouldn't do anything unless there was consensus. So, let's do this thing. I just made it up. It was.
What's your favorite?
I met Zoe this morning and she's helping out and she turns out she's an awesome movie director and so she's directing this film. And she's the king of this. I'm just But pleasures are like poppies shed. You seize the flower as bloom is shed, or like a snowflake in the river, a moment there, then gone forever. So it's just beautiful.